Attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Hi everyone. I've just unmuted you all. If you want to mute yourselves, it just means that you can mute and unmute as you need. If you do it, accept it. I think we're just waiting for Nicola to join, and then we'll get started.
Finding it really hard to hear.
Is everyone having difficulties, or is it just yourself, Kate?
I'm having problems as well.
There's a huge amount of background noise, enormous amount of background noise.
Don't we need to mute ourselves, and then there probably won't be the background noise?
Yeah, if I mute you, it just means that you can't unmute yourself. So if you mute, then it means you can unmute yourself when you need to ask a question.
Okay.
Does anyone know how to mute themselves? Because I don't.
Yeah, there's a little green button at the top right-hand corner.
I've got top right-hand corner. I've got a sound check audio thing. Oh, now I've lost it.
Okay, no, all right. If you look to the left of that box, there's an arrow, then there's a green thing underneath it.
All right, okay. I haven't got that now. I've just got.
In a row.
I'm just fiddling. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing now. It
The noise is gone now, interesting.
Oh, that came back. Right, okay, yeah, I've got a red arrow and a green thing.
Yeah.
Oh, click to mute.
Is Amy, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, the noise seems to have gone now.
Okay, that's fine.
Is Nicola
it does,
here?
doesn't it?
Is Nicola on, or are we just waiting a few more minutes?
I have no idea. I can't hear her.
No, okay. I will give it.
Maybe Lynn would know whether she was expected.
Okay. All right. What I'll do is I'll get logged on.
Yeah.
And we'll make a start, and then if there's any queries from Nicola at a later time, then we'll get started. So if I just firstly I'll introduce myself. So my name's Amy, Digital Solutions Manager. My previous role in the past has been an assessor and IQA out in the field at a training provider, and then with City and Guilds in the quality delivery department. I'm now a digital solutions manager, which means I'm involved in the implementation and training of all the digital products. So any questions that you've got throughout, feel free to unmute yourself, jump in where needed. Can I just ask to start with, I know that you've got a couple of different quals on your system. Are you happy for me to go through a generic sort of business admin standard, or is there anything, any issues with that?
I think it's fine from my point of view.
Is that all right from everyone? Yeah. Okay, I'll just get logged in, then I'll share my screen with you.
I'm not sure that we aren't all horse care or land-based, so it might be easier actually to use. If we're all land-based that are on, we could use land-based instead.
Okay, let me see if I've got a land-based
Only a
one.
thought.
I'll just go in and see if I've got a land-based qual on here, because I know we were getting the new ones put on. Just bear with me. It's
Only a
not,
thought.
it's just the content that's different, not the actual.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
menu. So I'm just going to have a quick look now. No, they're all quite generic on my new course. So we'll stick with the business one, and then if there's anything when you log on yours that you've got any questions around that might look a bit different content-wise, then just let me know and I can dial in. Okay, and then if you can let me know when you can see the view on my screen, then that'd be great.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, so that makes
I can.
brilliant.
Yeah, I can.
Great. So with your learning assistant, when you log on, the view that you will see as an assessor. If your verifier is a task there in the very middle of the screen, it will also have a tab that says verifier, but we'll come back to that in a minute. The way I'm going to run through today is I'm going to run you through what will appear on your home screen. I'll then go down the left-hand section of how you assess and return work to learners. The first thing for me just to announce is that we have got an October release, which is happening this week. It's really, really good. There's loads of exciting features. You can see if you logged in today and you clicked on that October release, you'll see a bit more about it. But as I'm going through, if there's anything that is really sort of key, then I'll let you know what that functionality will be. Then when you log on at the end of the week or start of next week, if you've got any questions on that again, like I say, just either pick up the phone or email me and let me know. So when you log in, you'll have your introduction bit that can be personalised from your super user, whether they do or don't. This blue box won't always be there. It's either, if it's red, it's an alert to say that there might be some downtime. It's always going to be on a weekend if there is, and it will only ever be for an hour or so. It's very few and far between, but it's just sometimes if we need to run an update. Blue is normally a notification, and then green is normally something really exciting. So probably when this release is done, that will go green and say, you know, have a look at the new features. The first thing to do when you log in is where that little person is in the top left corner, we call that your avatar. If you click on that settings button, it will open up like some actions. The two things that you need to look at is your preferences and your notifications. So your preferences is just how you prefer to see the system. It might be due to font size and icons. It may be down to your charts and your reporting. That's automatically set to a donut chart, but you can also get them as bar charts as a standard as well. So it's just about what you would prefer to see. To open up a summary to see as a snapshot when they last logged in, you would click that across and submit it. So that's just how you want to see it. It will only change for you, not globally, so you can, and then you can choose how often you want to receive alerts. So your message digest is an email every day or per message when a learner sends you something. So to start with, until you're in the habit of sort of logging in all the time, I would set up your message digest to per message, and you want to know when a student uploads evidence, when they contact you in their diary. You may not want to know about interim verification and when the awards the VQ award, it's still called, is issued, because that might be something that you don't need to know the second it's done. But if you wanted to, you can tick them all on and then press save. So that means every time a learner sends you work or contacts you, it will give you a notification.
Amy?
Yeah?
I've got Lynn on the telephone.
Yeah.
So I've just had you've seen that notification from Nikki Hiller.
Okay, 1 second.
Lynn, have you got a little black box with like a red arrow going left and then 3 buttons underneath it in the top corner? Oh, she's gone.
I'm just trying to see if I can unmute Lynn.
All right, she's coming back to me. Hello. Sorry, I must have cut you off. Oh, so you've got the Let's Get Started screen. So I guess you need to try and join. It's worth a try. I'll keep you on the phone. Are you there still, Amy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to sort Lynn out.
You all right?
I know, well, of course, my phones are on silent, and I'm like, oh, the phone's ringing. That's interesting. It's Lynn. Maybe you dropped out. Maybe your internet dropped out, and then it couldn't connect. And what happens if you press Let's Get Started? Oh, I can't help you. Yeah, it did. And then it just came up.
Let me try and, I'm going to try and turn my screen off and restart it.
Amy's going to try and do something. Okay. Oh, it's gone.
Right. Let's see if that load. I've just responded to Nicola. Can you see my screen now?
I still can.
Yeah. Is Lynn still having difficulties?
Doesn't appear to be here, does she? Let me find her again.
Well, Lynn is on my. It's showing as attending.
Is she?
Yeah, it's showing as that she's on.
For some reason, she wasn't able to hear.
Oh, it's just let me unmute. Hello? No, well, I've got nothing on my screen. I've still only got the Let's Get Started screen, but it did finally come up and say, would you like to unmute? It suddenly flashed into the middle of my screen, so Amy must have unmuted me. So I can speak, but I still can't see Amy's screen. It just says connected to go to webinar. Let's get started. And it doesn't want to start. And there's nothing in that top right-hand corner. I had all of that, and it just all of a sudden went and hasn't come back.
I'm just trying to work out why it would only be yourself that can see it.
Lynn,
I wonder
how about
if I unregister and re-register.
how about doing a restart? That might help.
Oh, hello, Ryan.
Hello.
I'll be gone for ages if I do that, though, won't I?
Well, no, just a quick restart, 5 minutes, and then, or maybe you could Skype another member who's currently doing it, and then you could view their screen.
Oh my God, you're too good at this.
Just an idea. Then you could kind of talk through her.
Lynn, maybe you Skype me. I'll open my Skype if I can.
Will I be able to hear the webinar?
Yeah, you can hear sound because you're viewing what they're viewing. If oh no, it's so if someone Skypes it, then they share their
Yeah.
screen, then you're seeing their screen. Does that make sense? Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm opening Skype for Business. Then I should be able to open this back up again, and you should be able to see it.
Yeah. If
You're
you
there,
call,
Amy?
if Lynn calls you,
Yeah, I'm just setting it up. Okay, my
Have we managed to get Nicola?
I'm just trying to resend her the link now. She's got
Amy's doing that.
she's got an error.
Amy, it's Helen. We've watched a YouTube video about Learning Assist. Is what you're going through similar to that video, or is it something different?
It depends which one you've seen. There's quite a lot.
The ones that Lynn sent. Let me go into my emails.
Okay.
I can't believe I can't get on. My machine never normally does anything.
And then is your Skype open?
I'm just dialing you.
Okay. If it doesn't self-destruct having everything turned on all at once, I'll be impressed. But you're dialing me.
Well, I'm trying to. Hang on. Right. That's me.
Okay. I'll say hello to you. Right.
So if you just mute your Skype so it's not a double, otherwise you'll get it repeating like 10 times over.
Right, so if I put my Skype on full screen and you share your screen, Kate.
Yeah, I'm nearly there. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Okay, I can see it.
I'm going to mute myself again then.
All right, bye. Thank you.
Okay, so Lynn, can you now see that, yeah?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Helen, did you have a look for them videos that you wanted me to check?
I'm just trying to find the email. There were two that were sent to us to watch. One was half an hour and one was 15 minutes. And there was a man that was going through what you needed to press on. It started very similar to the one you've done.
Yeah, it could be. We did make some videos a while ago that we're going to upload onto the system as a bit of a refresher.
The only difference was that referred to the old standards and still had units in. Is the one you're showing us now that's been updated and doesn't have units?
It's standard.
It's standards as opposed to the framework.
Yeah.
Because that one was framework that was on the YouTube link that we...
Well, we can go...
Okay, that's it. Anyway, carry on. I will just, I'll carry on watching.
Okay, no worries.
Can anyone still hear me?
Yeah.
Karen's trying to get on as well. Karen Hampshire. And I think what's happened is she said 11, but it's 10. And I don't think she got the link because I sent it to all assessors. Hang on, I'm going to send it. I'm going to ring her and send her the link straight away. Hold on. Gosh, where's the link? Right. Forward to Karen Hampshire. All right. I'll ring her straight away and tell her to do it because we haven't really gone anywhere yet, have we? Right. Hi Karen, I've just sent you the link for the webinar. It was for 10, not 11, but we haven't actually done anything yet because they've only just managed to get me on. So if you want to kind of join it straight away, we haven't actually done anything yet. Yeah, I think it just says, I think I've just, yeah, if you just do the link, it comes back and you're registered straight away. I think, virtually. All right. Bye. Right. Karen's just doing it.
All right, I'll give it a second and then we'll carry on in a minute.
All the best laid plans. Meanwhile, I'll go back and see if anything's happened to mine. No. Okay.
I've spoken to Nicola. She's having some issues. Sounds like from her end. It sounds like her security's on quite high. So it's given her an error of allowing her to log on. So I've asked her to check her pop-ups and firewalls and things. Okay, do you want me to carry on going through this homepage bit, or do you want me to hang fire a bit longer?
I think probably Karen would like us to hang fire for probably a moment longer. Would you think, Kate?
Karen's on at the moment.
Is Karen there?
Don't know. Has Karen's registration thing come through, Amy?
Yeah, I can see her on my attendees. Karen, can you hear us?
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Great. I'll carry on, and then if you've got anything else, just jump in and give us a shout. Helen's dropped off, is that right?
No, I'm here, Amy.
I can't see you. Oh, there we
Oh, well, I
go.
can see the Hello Business homepage.
That's fine. You flashed up now. You're speaking. Right.
Okay.
I'll carry on down this home screen then. So yeah, like I say, just them boxes, you'll just see a bit of an update of to what's come in or anything that you need to know. You'll also get an email from us, so nothing will come as a surprise. Down this right hand side where you've got the news and events tabs here, super users and admin staff can put on things that are happening. So it could be like EQAs coming on this date, we've got an open day, or whatever it may be, can include it in there. If you've got a Twitter feed or anything like that related to your centre, you can also give that URL to our Glasgow team, and your learners and tutors will see a continuous feed of that, just if you have it. So on your home screen here, you've got your assessor tasks. This will change a little bit at the end of the week. Coming from assessment background, I've asked for a couple of updates. So currently, the only time your waiting review will notify you is if a learner has confirmed that their full unit has been completed and they want to submit it for a competency claim. Now we know that it's not always the case. Learners might send you a piece of work to have a look at, or they want you to, confirm that it's hitting the right bits beforehand. Bear with me. Right, Nicola's having some issues. Just let me see if I can send her a dial in. Okay, so yeah, as I say, I've updated a bit. So what will appear as of the update, above that awaiting review, there will be an evidence for review tab. So when a learner uploads a piece of evidence, it will say to them, would you like to submit this evidence for review? Yes or no. And we've got a video on for them of how to do this. And so if they press yes, it will come and sit at the top of your assessor task saying, this learner has given you this piece of evidence to review. If it's for the whole unit competency claim to be completed, then that will say awaiting review, and then the whole unit will sit there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, can I just ask a question? Is this page that we're looking at one learner or our page?
This is your page as an assessor.
Okay, so there could be like 8 different learners all on that page doing different things.
Yeah, I'm going to submit a piece of work from the learner in a minute and show you how that.
Okay, I get it. That's fine. Thank you.
Correct. Then you've got your verifier referrals down here. So this is anything the IQA has referred for you that you need to action with the learner. And then overdue at the bottom is when you've set a learner a deadline, if you choose to. So this piece of work is due in yesterday, then it will sit in that overdue bit at the bottom so that you know that you need to chase the learner for that. If you are a verifier or an assessor and verifier, you will also have the verifier tasks button here. Then here you've got sampling plan tasks, which is everything you've got up and coming on your sampling plan, awaiting verification, and anything that you have referred. Your messages is just a shortcut to the internal email system we've got in Learning Assistant, which I'll come to on the left-hand sidebar, but this is just your inbox. You've got appointments, which you can set up either in the contact diary or via the appointments tab. It's any appointments that you've got upcoming, anything that you've set as a specific review to be that's upcoming, and anything that's overdue, whether you've missed it because the learner's not turned up, that you need to rebook in.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Can that be synchronized to Outlook?
So it can be. It's not an automatic sync, but there is a bit which I'll come to on the appointments tab where you can press export and it goes into your Outlook calendar.
And can you do it the other way around? Can you link from Outlook into this?
No, Outlook doesn't give you that function. So it's their platform that won't allow it rather than ours.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Resources tab then. So this is any generic resources. So when I came and did the super user and admin side of the training, this resources should be things like your prevent, safeguarding, assessor guidance, could be learner guidance, handbooks, anything that's generic that any person on any program would be able to have access to or visualize. Your LA Anywhere is your access. It's via apps, either through your phone or your tablet. It works on Android or Apple. It doesn't work on Windows because Windows are slowly shutting down their app functionalities. And then at the bottom here, you've got LA Anywhere for your desktop. Now, if you download this onto your laptop or something, then it will give you an offline version of Learning Assistant. So it'll look exactly the same, but you don't need to connect to Wi-Fi. You can open it up, do all your work. If you're out sort of like in the yards or here, there and everywhere, do all your work as normal, upload your documents and set reviews and times and comments. And then when you connect back to Wi-Fi, it will automatically sync through to your online version of Learning Assistant. Have you got any questions on your homepage at the moment? No?
We may come to it later, but is there anywhere to put sector-specific resources?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So the admin and super user or registrars will have the functionality to upload it, but there are places where they can sit. Obviously, you can ask for a registrar and admin access if you wanted to upload it yourself, but it will be sort of like generic across that course.
Okay, that's fine, thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to work down the side now at the moment. So I'm going to come back to learners in a minute because I'll go through the full process. News and events, like I said, it's on your home screen, but this is just a bigger version of everything, and you can see past news and events that have appeared. Forums, some people use this really, really well. It's just conversation. It does work very well with each other, but when it's sort of work-based, it can take a little bit of assessors sort of asking questions and getting the learners to interact. But we have already set up whichever qualification you're assigned to as an assessor, you'll see the generic like forum set up, so you can create a thread, add in a subject, super users can all delete in conversation. Okay. PDR, now this is, you've got one, so I'll go through your hospitality and extra subsidy that they've done with their qualification. Also for you as an assessor, when your IQAs are coming at the end of every month saying, have you got your CPD for me? They can actually log on and have a look and access this, and you can keep a continuous record. You can export it, print it, do whatever. So to do that, you go new entry. It might be standardization. Your actions could be your questions to ask the learner, could be prevent. Reflection notes. So we looked at LA, you may have been in your standardization for 6 hours and it took place yesterday. Once you press submit, you can then upload notification. You can fill this in your PDR and it will continuously upload and be a long tally of what you've done. You can obviously see your learners within that as well. Messages, like I said, on the home page, that is your inbox, but this is where everything sits. Use this to message. Some people use it really well and don't use their Outlook one, for example, and then we'll use this. Processes. Now you can set processes up from like your admin, your centre manager side of the program, and I did show them this when I was there a couple of months ago. Now process tasks you can set up with this learner. These are the processes that you need to take throughout the year. It might be milestones that you've set them. It might be submitting for their functional skills within the first 3 months, or whatever that process is, checklist of ticking to make sure that you've done everything that you need to. If they're roll-on, roll-off learners and you're quite happy to go along, you don't need to set it up, but it has formed quite useful, especially when caseloads are quite large. So coming back up, your appointments that I was mentioning before. So this at the moment looks like this big calendar. You can set appointments up in 2 ways. Either in here, which is just creating an appointment, which will notify obviously yourself and the learner that this appointment is taking place. You can add documents to it, not a problem. The other way will be in the contact diary, which we'll come to shortly. But for now, I'm just going to create an appointment. So you fill in the required details that you want. You press save. And it will sit within this calendar here. But you can then press export and that will export it to your Outlook. So you can do it either Outlook from 2007 upwards up to recent, or if it's an old version then you just do it as a VCS file. You can do that as often as you like and it will send everything that you've got in here as a calendar invite into your Outlook diary. Okay, so then moving on to your learners. This is how you would search for them. You can either do it by package or course that they'll assess. You can view your completed learners. And what I did say to the admin team was when they set you up as an assessor to create you a test learner. So you should all have a test learner when you're logged on. If not, just email them and get them to create you one. You can obviously search by name as well, or just search for all learners. So the learner I've got here, the first name and businesses, their RAG status and the progress bar. Now, if you recall in the preferences tab in the avatar, and I ticked that I wanted to see their last login date as well, that has then shown down here in the overview. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can choose what you see as an overall introduction. So if I click into this learner, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to plan something for them to do. Open it up and go into, you're going to create a plan. So in your entry label, you can choose what you're telling the learner. You can tick to make it private or not. So this will say planning will lock any outcomes referenced by this entry until the learner, as usual, would plan it, would get the learner to agree the plan, then they'd go away and do it. This is just making sure that the learner is agreeing to that plan. You'd put do this work by next week. You can tick it to a particular outcome. So I'm going to say a little, for example. And this is another place you can set that meeting and appointment date day, and that's when I'm going to come out and see you. On the job and off the job hours can be recorded. Obviously, this is a plan, so we wouldn't necessarily set that. And then acknowledgements is asking the learner and to say, I've set you this plan, and I want you to acknowledge that you have seen this and agree. Once they acknowledge it, it will give you a press save. It will come up and ask if you want to set up a meeting for this, and then it will take you through to the meetings tab. I won't for this one. Once you press save at the bottom, you can then upload a doc. You can upload it into Cool. It's a plan. This is what you want them to do, and this is how they're going to do it. These are the outcomes that it's going to cover, and that when you set it, and that it's not yet been acknowledged by either the company or the learner. Is everyone happy on how to plan?
Yes, no, anybody?
I'm talking and not unmuting, yes.
Okay. So I'm just now going to go into the learner and send something back so you can see what it looks. Right, trying to remember my hundreds of passwords. Sorry, just bear with. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
There we go. Sorry, it's locking me up for some reason. Right, I'm just going to log back in as the assessor and go onto the page. My learner's locked me out for some reason. But I've got some work that's been submitted anyway. So once the learners have gone in and that they get a notification or a confirm return button. So if a learner has sent you some work, you click in that task. It will give you all the behaviour expected to it that you would apprenticeship training manuals.
Ah, okay, thank you.
It will give you like this is the introduction. So it's telling the learner what they need to do, and then it's asking them.
Those for every award now then.
Oh, sorry, it was.
Standard that's been.
You can either contact your business manager, who will know, have any task learned or very, very close.
Okay.
And it will give them this. It's just something that, when you purchase Learning Assistant, we give it you to make it a little bit easier. So it will do like this. Task 1 is your professional behaviours in this instance. So their prep activities is describe the importance of punctuality in your role, and it will give them a series of questions and tasks to ask as they go along through the qualification. So witness testimonies, all of that stuff won't get through their endpoint assessment based on their knowledge. Okay. So once you've checked that, you've had instantly returning units if they're not fully complete, whereas it's the best way to give feedback. So this, as of Friday, when it says evidence to review, you can review that evidence and send that feedback back to the learner without having to return the full unit. So return and accept look exactly the same. So this bit is being either returned or accepted. Here's your feedback as to why, what else to do. You might set a date to visit them or call them. They might have done 5 hours off the job training. And you want the learner and you want their employer to acknowledge that they've seen this again. So you'd then press save. Again, you can upload a document down the bottom down here. Exactly the same for accept. You'd fill in your feedback. Task or unit standard. They've been made a bit easier. If you don't see them on there, if you let the business manager know, or if you scroll down to the very bottom of Learning Assistant, any page, it says customer support. Or ladies in Glasgow would probably be a bit overwhelmed. So the learner's first port of call would be you, and then yours would be customer support if you can't answer it.
Okay, thank you.
So in each task or unit, you've got set a deadline. You can set a deadline for the whole, I say unit, but the whole task, or you can go in individually and set a deadline for the individual component. Evidence is the next tab, so you can see which piece of evidence you've reviewed or not. Then you've also got this ability that says showcase. Now, obviously, some standards have got the option, the requirement that the endpoint assessment has to have a showcase portfolio. To do this, we've made it really simple for the learners, the assessors, and you. But you can click on the star, and you can lock it in as a piece of showcase evidence. And the learner can do that as well, but you can unlock it also. Once you've done that, it will save as that, and then you can keep reviewing this, but then you can download the showcase. This will give you a zip file of those pieces of evidence to send off to wherever necessary. If you don't have Showcase as as a final endpoint assessment, learners can still do this if they want to keep all their evidence that they've, if they wanted to take it away and send it off to employers, etc. Then they can use that same functionality, and all they would do is download Showcase. It would then go to their contact diary, and then they would just open it up as a document. And then this will show as a zipped file with all their pieces of evidence as a document folder. Does the Showcase evidence show the assessor feedback, or just the pieces of evidence? It will show the assessor feedback if you've put it on that document. This is just an Excel spreadsheet. If you've given feedback in that document, then it will.
What they call clean evidence, so it must be fresh evidence that hasn't been reviewed, assessed or marked or anything by the assessor?
There's not a functionality within here to prompt it, but where the evidence is, like I say, we've built in that ability where you can see, if you have it, it will
put it into the Showcase for them?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
so you can do that yourself and remove it if they've put something in that has been reviewed, for example.
Okay,
So you guys still have sort of that end decision.
The final control, yeah.
Yeah, and that will become a lot clearer on Friday when you see that reviewed panel. Okay. Registration is just their registration details. Just fit in here personally from sort of like the quality side of things. Creating your entries, put learner hasn't turned up. I'd put this all in here because this feeds into your learner journey. So this is where I would use all my communications. Email specific, so review all your information in here. So it'll give you your notes and how long it was. You can still upload documents. Again, copy to the contact diary, and you can require the acknowledgement. I spoke with the admin team about if you wanted to build in your own review forms, so you don't have to attach documents or anything. Whether they have decided to go ahead with that or not, it was to build. You can build resources and forms and questionnaires, anything you like, into Learning Assistant. So you can create your own documents. It's done through the admin side, but there's different levels to that. So you can either create a whole new unit yourselves you don't have to tag it to credit. So we have our own forms, and I used to get my guys to do their like sort of week in the life of with prompted questions. I could have built that as a form in there and got them to do a bit of a project around it. So that can all be inputted. Then when they've got their app on either their tablet or their phone, they can open up the form and almost text it into the form, save it, and it comes to you as a piece of evidence. So it supports it being a little bit easier sort of out and about. Metrics, on the job and off the job training. This is where it will all be changed this so that it gives you a total as a percentage and how much is remaining. So that will be coming soon. So it will ask you to put in how many hours that learner is expected to averagely work over the year. So if they're contracted 20 hours a week, they're on programme for 1 year. So it's that 20 hours times it'd be 48 weeks, because we've standardised annual leave as 20 days. And then that will give you the total amount of how much you should do on and off the job, what's remaining, and given you as a percentage as well, so you can make sure that minimum of 20% has been achieved. Okay. And then the final thing in the learner course is their learner journey. Now this gives you a really clean overview program. So it gives you how many units they've got as total, how many they've not started, completed and verified, how many times they've logged in and when their last login was, and that also drills down into how many times in a month they've logged in as well. Automatically set as donut charts, but you can types. is when a learner uploads some work, or you do, you will indicate what type of evidence that is, if it's product, if it's a witness testimony, if it's an exam, and that will show in here. Evidence uploads by role and by user is showing to you and to anyone else who decides to look if this portfolio is led by the learner or by you. By role is how many pieces of evidence you've uploaded as a trainer, and by user is how many pieces of evidence the learner has uploaded. Going down into your contact diary, this is every piece of communication coming into one nice neat, see where it's been tagged as assessment feedback, planning, general. You can filter that by
send an email to the learner, because at the moment I just go into Outlook and send an email to the learner, and then I file all my emails per learner and then per topic. So emails to do with BKSB. Is that on here or not?
You can't file it in the description.
Right, so there's no way of grouping them all together on certain topics?
No.
Okay.
I think the closest you could probably do is if you decided that all emails, all your message copy would be your email status, would all show down here. So if you've emailed them using the messages you had, will be BKSB. So then when you filter it by BKSB, it would just show them.
Okay, so there is a way you could do it then if you had your descriptions and your filters.
This evidence show the assessor fee. Oh no, I've seen that one. Will the on-the-job training capture and increase each time the learner logs in and uses LA, or do we have to physically tick the box and put in the hours? It won't automatically sync to when the learners use Learning Assistant, because they may not have learned. They don't necessarily use Learning Assistant for their learning. It's a platform for them to upload evidence and type in sort of, they might put it in the forms, but they may have done a lot more outside of Learning Assistant. So we don't automatically filter anything in because it may not be accurate. A learner could log in and leave it open and then come back and log out in an hour, and then that would capture, but they may not have actually done anything. So the learners can put something in and you can, but yeah, it won't automatically do it. I've got a hand up from Ryan. No? Okay, so yeah, so that's sort of your learner journey. Ofsted love this because it gives them a really been going on. You've got your assessor, give an overview of the shot, convert to the PDF into MS Word format for the training manual. Oh, do you mean sort of the ATMs that we've built in? They can't go into Word because they're a writable PDF. It's just so they don't get changed and edited, because then obviously people can use them, whereas they're City and Guilds written training manuals.
So we can only use the PDF format. You couldn't use a converter to save it as a Word document.
I haven't.
Unfair, or you try to fill in with better words, trying to fill them in, but in Word format it's just a bit more, because obviously there's a built-in spell check as well.
Yeah, I haven't asked. I guess once you've purchased it, you're purchasing the training manuals as well. So with that basis, then you can do what you like.
Okay, thanks.
I think we just have to be careful of copyright and things like that, though, Ryan. So we'll need to do some investigation.
Of course, that's why I didn't want to go sort of converting it without.
As long as you don't copy it over the text and sell it on as your own, or stuff like that, then you can use them as City and Guilds. They've got City and Guilds copyright at the bottom, and all our branding and images. So if you use that, it's not a problem. But like I said, because you can just type in the text box, it's not like a PDF, like the old-fashioned ones where it wouldn't let you fill in enough words. It is a writable format.
Okay.
So yeah, it should work very well. I've not heard anyone complain about the PDF so far. Okay.
Tweak it and change it and copy and do this, that, and the other. The idea is that we're trying to save people time.
The thing is, once you've typed it in the writable one as well, it maps in for you as well. You know, you upload. If you do it in a Word document, I'll show you now how you'd have to upload that. But if you did it in a Word document, you'd be mapping it in yourself. You'd be you know, it would increase your time rather than save time.
Yeah, which is what, you know, buying this was all about, really, was to try and save people as much time as possible so that having to.
Great. So, on a Word document, which, as I think we've kind of established, isn't necessarily needed. I'll show you how you would upload that and any other this dinner, so you can. So within the course, you would then click on Evidence Wizard. It would open up a new box, and then you can attach observation. But generally, it'd be to upload a new piece of evidence. I'll put in something. It would then upload it and show down here. You can then add in your details. So it'd be task 4.1. Again, review. You can save it. So if you were to upload this, these are the details. Where I was saying earlier, you can choose the type of evidence that you've been uploaded. So this is good for learners to take a bit more ownership on the work, understand their course a bit more, and then obviously for you guys to be able to see that you've got a good range. That might be an observation with a product. You can also cross-reference. It will automatically, because we've ticked on number 4, it will stick there, but it was for those and the type of evidence. So that's how you would upload any additional evidence, or like I say, if you were to do the writable PDFs, once you've written it in and press save, it would show there anyway. But if you were to upload more, you'd have to do that every single time. But that's how you and your learners would upload evidence. Whole unit. Upload your additional evidence.
Thanks.
Great. So that's how you would upload and accept work, feedback to your learner and contact them and plan everything in. So once you've followed the process through once, and that's why I say get yourself a test learner set up. If you've not already got it, ask the admin team to do it. Use a name that's a bit obscure, like a lot of people use Disney characters like Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, etc., just so it's a unique identifier. And then you can log on as the assessor, plan in some work. You can then log in as your learner, submit, press on that evidence wizard and send it back. You can then click on it as an assessor and press accept or review. So you can follow the process through, and it won't use one of your licenses. It will just give you an opportunity to have a play around. Once you've done that, if you get stuck or have any questions, let me know, because I can either log on as another webinar and present your screen, or a Skype, or a phone call and things. So, and then at least you've given it a go before you go on live with the learner. Is there any questions at the moment before I go on to the sample summary? No, I'll take silence as a we're good. And can I ask who is the IQAs on? Is everyone a bit of both, or?
A number of us are a bit of both. Some are purely assessors if they're fairly new to the role.
Okay, so our sample plan for our learning assistant is currently very much what it says on the tin. So I feel like it's a bit of a love-hate functionality. It is being developed at the moment. Myself and Simon, who is he does the same role as me because we've both come from an IQA background. We're adding more functionality into it. But currently it is a very simple sample plan. It does what it says on the tin, and it covers your camera, and it will give you a notification of your plans. So if you've got any feedback or anything that you want to add into it or change whilst we're reviewing it at the moment, if you go down to the submit an idea, which is the same place that customer support, fill out the ideas that you've got and how they would help and benefit. That then gets sent straight to our product manager, who we sit with to review the next updates and changes that we're making. Okay. So to create a sample plan, you click on sampling plans at the top. You create a sample and you put in the details. So it might be 10% old assessors, 90% amber assessors, and 100% new assessors, for example. The course that's for, the company. Now you can have a sample plan per company if you wanted to, but you don't have to fill it in, and you can choose which assessors that you want that to be related to. Press save, and then it will bring it up here. To then go in and edit it, if you click on the name, that will give me some learners. Right. If you find that yours doesn't load, if you're doing one before you've got active learners, then it's because your learner will be down as a test learner rather than a active learner. So once your active learners are showing, then they will appear. Right. There we go. So once your sample plan's set up, you click on the name, and then all your learners would show down the side of here, and it just looks like a very basic Excel spreadsheet currently. So all the units that the learners have got along the side, and then this will give them the status in the colours. So exactly the same, and you'll start picking up the statuses. If it's grey, the unit's not been started. If it's blue, it's been started by the learner. If it's green, it's been completed by the assessor. Pink is verified by you. The O here is because I have set these two tasks to be verified, but I haven't done it, so it's overdue. But if I want to plan task 17 to be verified, I click on the box, select for verification, evidence types I'd like to see, press save. And you do, okay, a load of zeros because nothing's been sampled yet, but it will tell you how many pieces of evidence have been verified within that program and a percentage of their portfolio that you have verified at the end. Okay. Learner, so it's gone red. On the 30th of October, I'm planning to see questioning for this learner. I've returned that piece of work this morning, didn't I? But I'll click on needed. And then here we go, when I showed the refer, I referred this unit that I'd actually have to be sampled, but it would show in there. You can IV evidence here. So once the assessor has chosen that piece of evidence and saved it, the interim will be that side.
On here.
So once you give your feedback, it automatically selects as private.
Okay.
So it works in exactly the same way like we did with the assessor when we pressed accept or return and there was feedback, learner and company development and the additional pieces to go in. Before myself and Simon were digital solutions manager, there was no one really that had an IQA background. So they were just going off sort of the examples that were in the assessment books and things like that. So, but obviously we all know that in practice there's a little bit more to it than just ticking a box. So that is coming It'll probably be in the January, February release. But then we will do some additional training and videos on the updates and how that is then used. But like I say, if you do have anything that you particularly use, or that you like as part of sampling plans and things, then put it in that submit an idea, and then when we have our next development meeting next month, we'll review anything that's been linked to that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is there, apart on your, as you can see down the side here, on your verifiers portfolio, it's exactly the same functionality as it was with the assessors. There's nothing changed or different. The sampling side of it.
Can I have the handouts of exactly the process for OQA, exactly the process for assessor, etc. Because I'm writing notes at 90 miles an hour, but
yeah,
we need to go over it again.
At the moment, we don't have anything written because of how often we update the system with different images and things. So what we do and what will be there on Friday is how-to videos on your homepage in the resources tab here. It will have learning assistant videos and it will give you the step-by-step of everything, so you can pause it and play it as much as you like.
Okay.
So they have come from us as digital solutions managers. So myself, Simon, Emma, and Sam, who is our team, we recorded them from going out and talking to customers and seeing what they needed to what the key bits they were that needed to be sort of like a show me how to do this, etc. So on Friday they'll all be available there.
Can I put my first submit an idea in then?
Yeah.
Can we have paper copies too?
Yeah. Put as many submitting an ideas as you like in there. At some point they will.
Yeah, it's just that a lot of people work much better with paper copies alongside when we're working electronically.
Yeah.
Which
So
is why,
submitting ideas.
a screen dump how-to for uploading information and a screen dump how-to for IQA would be appreciated.
Yeah, that's fine. If you pop it in there, every month it gets looked at, and they will respond. If not straight away, obviously, when they review it, they'll respond to as many as they can, as quick as they can. So they'll let you know if it's doable, if it's already in process. But yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
There is a little bit on it in the training manual, isn't there?
On the Learning Assistant Super-Use one, I haven't seen the latest version of that one. You guys have probably got a more up-to-date one than I have from Glasgow. They like to give it out to the customers before us. Yeah, they're like, oh, we've got this update. All your customers have had it. But yours will be more up-to-date than mine, I can guarantee.
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else that you'd like to go over? Any questions, any processes that you do that you'd like to see how they can fit into Learning Assistant?
I'm guessing that we have... No, ignore me, I've answered my own question.
Presumably there are YouTube videos on the reporting capabilities, because unfortunately I wasn't able to be at that original demonstration with the head office staff.
Yeah, there is a video on it, and there will be another one soon, because we've added, when you log on to your super user page, we have now got a really fancy looking dashboard as well. So whereas normally you used to log into your homepage and it just be your license, overall agreement and things, now we've got all your reports and donut reports and graphs of summaries and stuff. So there'll be another video on Friday of all that additional functionality. But so once you've had a look at that video, if you're stuck, then do give me a call and I'll do it'll only take 15 minutes to do a webinar on the reporting. So with all that new functionality, I can do that anytime.
Thank you.
Just got a question. How does witness testimonies work? So it's up to you how you use this. Witness testimonies can be uploaded. It depends where you get them from. If you get them from the company, you can create your own forms for them to be filled out by them and then confirmed. You can upload them as additional piece of evidence, as I showed you with the evidence upload. You can set up work-based recorders in Learning Assistant, so your admin team can set up a work-based recorder and give that access to the person you want to do the witness testimony with, and then obviously you would just acknowledge that you agree and feedback on that. So there are different ways of doing it. It just depends on your internal quality procedure as to what you would prefer to use.
That's probably a discussion that we need to have internally.
Yeah.
Starting
from
manager meeting.
My general experience, it has been work-based recorders would send you the document, you would feedback and confirm, and then upload as evidence. But there is the functionality to give them access to the portfolio. The other thing to mention is that the Learning Assistant app it's just had a huge update, and so you and your learners should download it for evidence uploading. It is the best thing especially for your DVRs and your observations, because we have updated the functionality to, as you're either completing an observation or recording, as you're going along there, you can pause and play it as you're going, but you can also add commentary. So if you're, sometimes IQAs get sent this 45-minute recording and a list of the criteria it should cover, and they have to sit there and listen to it to identify it. Whereas in this, you can actually, as you're going along, say, minute 9 to 10 covers 301, minute covers task 2. So it's a really easy way to upload evidence. And then once you've confirmed, like you've recorded it, you press save. It'll tell you which outcomes you want to tick, so you can tick them all off. Press save, and it will sync straight into your live learning assistant. And there's a video on that as well.
Yeah, I think we might need that.
Yeah, it's really good, especially sort of from the IQA point of view. It saves a lot of their time as well. But yeah, it will all be coming in the resources tab here, and if I can, I'll show you what they are going to appear like, because my manager did send them all on. Okay, so trainer videos, let's go. I'll click on the reporting one. You click on the link and then it would open up here. Some of them are like 30 seconds, some of them are 10 minutes. So it's dependent on.
Hello, welcome to today's webinar on how to use dashboard. So this dashboard is a standard dashboard. The closed dashboard is an inequality.
Yeah, so it'll give you so we've got these for absolutely everything on here. So the current ones we've got is the learner journeys and recording on and off the job training, creating their contact diaries for you. The learner journey is about them uploading their evidence, etc., and filling out the forms. For trainers, we've got the homepage and avatar setting up, uploading all the evidence, creating their contact diary entries. Oh, he's talking. And then recording user, or your admin side of it, for learners, assessors, trainers, companies, and then all of the reporting suite as well. So we've got quite a lot to go at. And then if there's any others that you think would be beneficial that you want to see, again, put it in that submit an idea, and we'll just keep creating them as and when people want them. You've got all my emails and contact numbers. So yeah, good luck.
Brilliant. Thanks ever so much.
No worries.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.